One of my favorite things about New York is the people. So many interesting souls here. I just knew that I wanted to be a little bit more serious than most of the people that I was meeting.
I was single for so many years. I think 4 years. I just had bad relationship after bad relationship. I heard this OkCupid and friends were meeting people on this website. So I thought I'd try it out.
It sounded like he also just wanted honesty and was kind of fed up with people being false. We'd arranged to meet during the day at a cafe or something, and he almost canceled the date. I convinced him that he couldn't cancel.
And usually when you say, if you can't do something, you expect the other person to say, yeah, it's okay. But she was actually disappointed that we couldn't meet.
I got my first look at Farzad in that cafe, and I just remember thinking, oh, he's so handsome.
She didn't talk much, man. I was the only one talking. It was kind of exhausting. I had to talk the whole time.
Which was perfect for me because I don't talk very much, and especially back then I didn't talk almost at all.
It was the first time in 4 years I was with someone, and someone whose company I really enjoyed.
I'd known Farzad for maybe 2 or 3 months, I think, before he was diagnosed. He'd been having really bad headaches for the whole time that I knew him.
She recommended I go to the doctor. I told her it was nothing. I've always had migraines, and she was really insistent. So he took my blood pressure, and it was so high, I remember. He thought his blood pressure machine was broken. I was born with kidney disease, which I've always known I had it. My father died from it. Once I reached 35, I thought, you know what, this thing might never affect me.
He came home and he said that the doctor told him that he had a year.
I had less than a year to get a kidney, and it was terrifying. And I told her it wouldn't bother me if she wanted to exit the relationship. She offered to give me her kidney right then and there, which I thought was really funny. You just can't give someone your kidney. You have to have a match. Blood has to be a certain. There's a lot of factors, and the fact that she's Canadian and I'm Iranian, it's even more of a stretch that she'd be a match.
People wait for years and years on dialysis, waiting for a match. People die because they don't get a match. I just went and got the first blood test and whatever else I thought I needed at the time and started the process on my own. When I found out at least the blood group was compatible, then I called him up and said, oh, we can do this.
It didn't make sense. I told her I barely know you, and it makes no sense for you to do this. You don't have to do this. Even the doctors thought it was insane. This just doesn't happen.
I didn't even give it a second thought ever. I think the whole thing was easier for me than it was for him. They called me first because I had to go in first. Obviously, they have to take the kidney out first. I remember counting backwards. Then I started to wake up in the recovery room.
She was in a bed right across from me, and she was smiling. And I can tell she was drugged up a little bit.
I think I even took a picture of myself, which I sent to my parents. And I'm sure they were very confused because I thought I looked wonderful, but I was all bloated and with tubes coming out of my nose.
I remember putting the gas mask on, and a few hours later, that's it. Woke up and had a kidney.
Farzad and I have been married for 4 years. Our anniversary's in a week or two.
I can honestly say I've never been happier in my life.
We hit the jackpot. We always tell each other that we feel like we won the lottery, and I really do. I feel like this person is the exact right person for me. And I didn't realize how lucky we were until about a year ago. His folks had a friend who was a nephrologist. He saw our chart.
They said that it was almost as if she was a family member. It was that close of a match.
Which is bonkers. And very, very low chance of that happening statistically.
I got so lucky. Not because of the kidney. It's just really filled, like a huge void in my life. When I tell this story, all the focus is really on the transplant. I mean, that's what makes the story pretty amazing, and I get that. I mean, it really is. I mean, I don't believe it sometimes. If someone told me the story, I wouldn't believe it. But the real amazing part of the story is just that I got to meet her in the first place.